What's happening, guys? It's Jack here from GolfMagic. Today I'm down at Farleigh Golf Club where GolfMagic's very own Max Harvey will be having his very own custom fitting experience with HONMA. We're also joined by HONMA's custom fitting specialist, Luke Peterkin. Luke, thank you for joining us.
Cheers, Jack. Thank you.
Firstly, HONMA's getting a lot more popular since Justin Rose made the big switch from TaylorMade. Can you just tell us quickly why it's so important people get custom fitted and what HONMA can offer that no other brand can?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, the custom fitting world has changed a lot over the years, right? So even in the last 10 years or so, we've seen lots more options in terms of what you can be fitted for. Adjustability in golf clubs has changed so much. So technology in terms of the actual club themselves has improved incredibly. The reason why, firstly, you should be custom fitted is you need to define out of all of those options what obviously complements you the best, because with so many different options, it's going to be a little bit harder to be very, very lucky to just pick something off the shelf and find that works for you, right? So, and of course, we're all different heights, different swing abilities and deliveries. So all of those different fundamentals, it's imperative you have to be fitted. And it just goes to show you, with all the custom fit equipment that's leaving the UK now, it's the way forward in terms of optimising your game. So, and secondly, what makes HONMA stand out from everything we've just mentioned there about why we should be fitted is the fact that when we then go through the build side of things, so I've always said there's two parts to the fitting. There's the bit that we've done today, the gathering the data, building up the specification, and then there's the build side to supplement that. So what makes us stand out is factoring in that we've got craftsmen who have been working for or building golf clubs for HONMA for a minimum of 25 plus years, and they're the type of credentials that you need to make a certain set of our golf clubs, which is really unique. And so therefore what comes with that is the fact that you've got guys and girls who have been building golf clubs for so many years that our tolerance levels are really, really tight, because they know what to look out for as to what's acceptable in terms of quality control and what's not. And yeah, I think when you're spending a lot of money these days on golf equipment, it's only become more and more expensive over the years. It's only right that what arrives should be as close to what it was that you were fitted for, right? And so if you walk away with a specification that says that you should have our set of irons in this weight and this flex, you can trust that when it arrives it's going to be incredibly close to that, which is what it should be.
Perfect. Right, Max, let's get you on the range and see if we can get a HONMA club for you. Right, Luke, so after some tweaking, you've now got what you believe and what the data shows is Max's optimum setup with a HONMA club. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the club itself and the setup and how that's portrayed in the results too?
Sure, so we kept with the VX head. Right. I think this head is perfect for Max. As I say, it's a nice balance of bit of tech, but still maintaining the feel, the look behind the ball that Max really likes. So club head, we're good. We've tried a few shafts. We're happy with this one here. So this is KBS Tour C-Taper 120 stiff. So numbers wise, we are again ticking a lot of boxes here, which is really nice. So we've basically maintained our carry yardage. If anything, we've picked up a few yards, which is not the kind of be all and end all for Max. It was more so in the dispersion, which we'll come to. Numbers wise, across the board, we're really good. Deviations were still nice and tight, like one of the earlier setups. The main thing with this one here is the dispersion. So as you see there, we've got the green circle, which are our latest setup, and a few other variations. So these ones, in terms of where we're going, we've got one out to the right, but the reason why we kept that in there is because if you look at that one compared to the orange one here, miss-hit versus miss-hit with Max's own, although it's off to the right, it was still, you could argue, it'd be pin high. So we're still maintaining a nice consistent yardage across the board, which is really nice. And I think for me here as well, where we mentioned earlier that we've got scope to just bring that descent angle down a little bit So we've reduced the launch compared to Max's, but we've actually increased the spin compared to Max's. So I'm starting to see a lot over the years where with the way the iron technology has changed a lot, is the launch is increasing with irons and the spin's decreasing, which is fine. Like we mentioned earlier, if you're just a very, very casual golfer and you don't mind about the tightness in how your golf ball gets there, because that type of relationship will maximise yardage, as we know, because that's what we want to achieve with the driver typically.
Yeah.
But generally, if we want to look at control, especially for the lower handicaps that you go, even if you're playing in your monthly medals and you say you've got a pin that's tucked up the front, protected by hazards, you need something that will stop pretty quickly. So something that has plenty of backspin on, and as long as it's launching in the right manner combined with that, for me, would be a much better iron flight. So I think we've hit the nail on the head there.
Definitely.
And more importantly, it felt good as well.
Felt good, looked good, felt comfortable behind the ball, and then just seeing the flights and actually the result was so much tighter than I'm currently getting with my current clubs.
Nice.
So yeah, it's much better.
Awesome.